What is it asking me? Oh no, I just clicked it. I just clicked it. I seem to be signed out. What the fuck? Uh-oh, what just happened there? Oh, there I am. Hello, that was quick, Charlotte. I'm good. How are you? I've been a bit meh all day, but I'm okay now. But again, I realized whenever that happens, I was channeling the energy. So, wait a minute, what the fuck is this doing? You refresh it and then there. Right. Mic check. Actually, I don't need to do a mic check because can you hear me? You can just tell me. Um, right. So I doubt these will be the thumbnail, but we will put them now. I'll put this on for an hour, but I don't know if it needs to be an hour. I might just stop. Wait a minute. I might stop at that and see how I'm getting on. I'm okay. Spent the day in bed and just down to cook and eat dinner, phone in hand, hence the speed. All right. Yeah. No, I'm feeling you there. I didn't spend the day. Well, actually, technically, I did because I am on my bed right now. Thank you for clarifying that the mic thing. But yeah, I did. It's weird, right? Like the way I would. So this is going to be relevant. Wait a minute, actually, I'll go. I'll hold these up first just in case, because that's actually talk about like look at this me going on about the mic because I thought it was quite funny. I thought I pulled the cards for the next one, right? For what I usually do with the Cancer in the fourth house. But tonight, it's not just because it was a new moon, it's because I want to get back into a flow of just doing collective ones. Like I'm missing, it's, you'll get this, but just it's feeling a bit too rigid, you know what I mean? So I want to see if I can keep up with doing them and just doing, you know, generally like what I've done before. So but anyway, she's holding a wee mic. So look, it's a TV and she's holding a wee mic. So I knew exactly what they were telling me. That's about Mercury and Leo. Because right now, Mercury is 0 degrees Leo. So just notice within yourself, everyone, right? Today, the 29 last degree in Cancer, on top of us already being in Sun and Moon in Cancer, still within the new moon today, the energy was like really meh. Do you know what I mean? Like it was very sleepy. It was very sad. It could have been like I would dare say. I bet you a lot of people have actually been, very emotional today. Um, it's yeah. It was lots of memories of the past. So I know, like with basically, if you're new around here, just a quick sort of to get you up to speed with this, right? Catch you up to speed with this they make because I'm a collective channel, right? Mainly for twin flames because I'm a twin flame healer, but I can pick up things for the world energy too. So it's good to pay attention. But that basically like it can take me a minute to work out. Oh shit! Like this actually isn't how I'm feeling. They're making me feel whoever I'm going to channel about. So that's a collective of people. Most of the time, it's how the divine masculine feels. You'll notice that when I read the way I read, if you're here all the time, you'll notice I read for divine feminine, I read for divine masculine, and I explain this is also divine masculine feelings. This is also divine masculine. This is when I'm doing the masculine. This is also the feminine. Blah 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 blah. Um, but anyway, today that energy was very much like dwelling on the past, feelings of the past. It could even be like past lives. And then I was like, wait a minute, that's exactly what I said in the shorts. Now remember, I filmed the shorts like um yeah, a week ago tomorrow. So I filmed those shorts a week ago tomorrow. So I always find that quite fascinating when I've said something like a week, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks in advance. And then it lines up with the actual day that I've said it for because they're all timeless. But it just shows you they're not all timeless because I'd say, with whatever I said there about that, that is definitely what I could feel. So it'll be interesting if the same energy comes through when I do, when I do the next live stream after this. But it'll come through in this too. So I'm just sort of sharing that, like, it's quite interesting to notice, like whether you know a lot about astrology or not, because I even know when people do know a lot about astrology, like friends and stuff, even they'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't, oh yeah, that is what it is. But I definitely felt that the planet of communication being in the last of Cancer, which is, like I said, it's lovely, it's mothering, it's loving, it's family, it's soul family, but it's the shadow side is like sadness, depression, trauma. It's being a bit down in the dumps, right? So it's kind of like when you want to cuddle up, and like I said, that was I was weird. I kept feeling like I wanted to do loads of stuff and I had loads of energy, but it's only because I had like no energy yesterday. I was in a completely different, yeah, just didn't really have a lot of energy yesterday, and I just kind of chilled. But remember that was my plan. Um, and so then today I was like, oh, I've got a bit more energy, and it was like when I tried to do more, they were like, no. And so it was like, in a one bit, I felt a bit cold too. So like I said, I put in channeled in the thing. I've got my cardi there actually. I put my wee cozy cardi on and like just got a hot water bottle. And like we're nearly in July, but I did feel a bit chilly, and I just sort of sat in my blanket and I was just watching I was just watching last night's Love Island, which will probably come into all of this at some point as well. But yeah, it's different. Like now, I knew when I was starting this, like I can feel it as Mercury and Leo now. It does feel like, I don't know, I just feel like a wee burst of joy, a wee bit of excitement, a wee bit happier energy. So it might be quite interesting for you to notice that about yourself, or for you to notice that about others, where people might have. Sorry, Charlotte, I'm going to read that in a minute. It's like, people might have been a bit moany as well. Like the shadow side of Cancer is a bit moany. It is, right? So you'll know that you could own it if you do some shadow work and you look at where the Cancer is in your own chart. You should be able to see it. I can see it where I can see where it is in mine. Um, and you know, but yeah, typically it's like sleepy, self-care, mothering yourself, being a bit kind to yourself, being mindful of others. You don't know what's going on with other people. Because remember, the fourth house is, I'll say all of this in it. Well, I'll say all of this in the next one that I do too, but I can't help myself. Again, I can't separate myself. It is the new moon in Cancer. So again, that's weird. I can't separate myself. So I feel the way I said that and what I'm doing with my hands here, because like I said, everything they make me do is part of it. So I feel this is like, I can't separate myself. So like maybe either you're a feminine that's like, I can't not feel my person's feelings. Like I feel what they're going through, even if I don't logically know, I feel they're going through something. Um, or you could be like the divine masculine feeling this and being like, I feel they're going through something. It's something like that, because it was just weird the way I said that. So, but yeah, anyway, I'll hold these up for the thumbnail. So it's got eat serene, right? So this will be, that's why I wrote you are what you eat. And then this has got equal airtime. And that really made me laugh because, like I said, people that have got Mercury and Leo, they're entertaining, but it is, like I said, it's grab the popcorn. It's fun, it's entertaining, but Leo's about the limelight. So, you'll know you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see what I mean over the period of, because not only is Mercury planet communication in Leo, on Monday, it will be the pre-shadow of the Mercury retrograde. So the Mercury retrograde, which comes in a couple of weeks, is in Leo. Drama. Do you know what I mean? It's going to bring the drama. So I hope it's happy dramas, but it'll be drama nonetheless. So I'm warning you now, like I say all the time, if you have got things that you can clear up with anyone in your life, twin flame or otherwise, before we get into that Mercury retrograde, it's advisable. But it's not always possible to do so. But Mercury retrograde isn't a bad thing. I said all this, and I've filmed Saturdays before I've done this, so it's a bit repetitive, but whatever. Mercury retrograde is a great time to slow down and reflect and to look at things a bit differently, than what you usually do. I was born in Mercury retrograde, so it's why I don't look at things a lot of the way that other people do. But I've got so many things in my chart that make my perspective unique, but we're all unique, right? It's like, but my moon conjuncts Uranus, so it's like quite spontaneous and erratic and, electric and just, yes, you never know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? It's part of being a channel. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, it's the last two Mercuries we've had, the last few Mercury retrogrades we've had, whatever sign it's been in, because it was in my well, that was the Venus retrograde actually. Sorry, it was in Aries, which is my Venus. But yeah, you'll notice the last few years, I feel the Mercury retrogrades have been quite chaotic, and I hadn't always experienced that before. But I don't know, if you've got natal Mercury retrograde like myself and others, you might find things go a bit smoother. But like I was saying, it's a bit unfair because it's only 4 times a year for a few weeks. Like think about us the rest of the time. So, but yeah, let's hold them up. So they're a bit tiny though, aren't they? And I need to watch because this is my talk because I've not lost loads of weight, but I seem to have lost weight with this topic. It's, I'm just in the energy of manifesting that. And I'm not losing it. I'm releasing it, never to be found again. Right. Okay. Words matter, guys. Right. So maybe you need to release something never to be found again when they say it like that. Oh shit, it's not in the thing. And it's also on the wrong fucking side. Where did I hold it? So I held it here and it goes there. So is it here I need to let's see. So while I can look with this eye. So hello, Barbie. I don't know if I said hi there. Barbie, by the way, see with your comments from a few weeks ago, I keep okaying it, and it keeps. Wait a minute. My eyes are going all over the shop, but we'll just go with that. Yeah, and it keeps reappearing. So, and then I found all these other comments. So, sorry, that's YouTube's doing something. I don't know if you'll notice the difference, but basically, because like I replied, and then it looks like I haven't replied. So anyway, it's from a few weeks ago, but just reminded me when I saw your name. I've cried quite a bit over the last 48 hours, lots of releasing, inner child stuff, and the energy has been fire on tap. Felt so held by spirit. Oh, that is beautiful, Charlotte. Again, I'm sorry to hear that you've been so upset, but also me and you're on a similar vibe of that, that's really healthy. And, thanks, that's actually really clarified. That's what I've been feeling a lot of divine masculine, male and female going through. And again, like I've went through this myself, and I still can go through that depending on what's around. But that's exactly what I've been feeling people go through. And remember that the new moon in Cancer is about the mother and family. So, and I don't know what is going on for some people, but I'm just warning you now, trigger alert for when I come off of this and come back on. Those cards are fucking heavy. Like, yeah, they're heavy. Like I'll just tell you now, I feel somebody's grieving. Like I feel somebody's lost a family member or something that's gonna resonate with that. So my condolences if somebody has yeah, basically, again, so just you'll see what I mean. It doesn't need to be literal, but I mean, it kind of looks it. And again, it doesn't need to be that somebody has died. It could be that like you've had to set boundaries or something, but it feels quite intense. A lot of clarity that's come from it too. Good. Not sure. Can I do anything on my end? No, don't worry. It's nothing. It's nothing you need to do. But I'm just saying because if I reply to something and it's something that you said 2 weeks ago, it's just because it's late. It's hard to explain, but it's weird. It's the filter thing. Like it's normally I catch them all, but I don't know. It's like I keep okaying it, and then when I go to see what's there, your one keeps coming up. But I okayed it weeks ago. It's just like I replied and okayed, but then I found other ones I didn't see. So I don't know. Weird, but no, it's something you're doing. So sorry about that. It's just if you're like, what? I said that ages ago. That's what's happened. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we can either do it this way is at the new moon, I do the cards on the second level. So Charlotte, you're the only one here just now from the second level. So would you like your cards just now? Or so this is from my perspective, right? People in the second level, you can either have your cards just now or you can have them tomorrow. So, and the difference being, like right now, the sun and the moon are still in Cancer. So it could have a bit more of a, like I'd imagine my hands will probably gravitate towards ones about self-care and nurturing. And I mean, really any of the cards, but that's what kind of comes to mind. Whereas tomorrow, Leo moon, it'll be a different vibe, you know, more playful, kind of fun. And so it really just depends on what you feel you're needing. Um, but yeah, basically people in the second level of membership, I can either do your cards now or I can do them tomorrow when I'm doing the public live. So basically, Charlotte, just now, you can let me know. And also, I can either do your cards right now or I can do the collective and I'll do your cards at the end. But either way, um, that's the option. So I'll wait to see what Charlotte says. And everyone else, I will put in what I usually put. So if anybody wants that, you can get that. But also, tomorrow, once a month, if you're new, just because everyone else knows this is what I mean. Once a month on the Leo moon, which comes around so quickly because it's already tomorrow. I do free cards. So if you're not in a position to get, you know, the paid readings at any point, and it's more than a reading because I'm clearing energy, it's light code activations and stuff. You really feel it. Like I said, you know, Renee's one being the biggest one that sticks out recently. I mean, Renee just keeps releasing. Renee, I hope you don't lose any more weight because you're going to be fucking fading away. The first time she spoke to me on the Zoom, she lost, I don't know, I think it was 13 pounds, and then the next time she got a clearing, just a very quick clearing on here, and she lost another 13 pounds. So be open to miracles. Basically, I'm a healer, but I'm specifically a womb healer, so I clear trauma in the womb. So you know, it's big stuff can happen if you're open to it. So but yeah, yeah. Well, you don't need to decide right now, Charlotte or little Libra Moon. You can let me know. Do you want me to do a bit of collective energy, and then by the time I finish that, and then maybe like you know Renee, I think it's and Renee and Nathan might have arrived, and then they can let me know. And you know, it's more just again, I seem to. It's really weird. Like it's not that weird, but like I seem to have went like I've not been like this all day. Like again, but like I said, it's just sometimes because it's like I prepare. You know, I've had Tuesday, Wednesday, and all of today to rest, and so you know, I'm in my Leo midheaven internet clear self. But I always just like to share that like I wasn't feeling like this most of today. And I would tell you if I'd been like really upset and everything and crying and that, I would say to you, like I haven't been crying, but I did have a moment earlier where it was very depressing actually. Like it's hard to describe. But then I think that's when I was like, oh, I don't think this is mine. But it's kind of hard to describe because they were definitely using things in my life to make me feel a bit shit. And then I felt like, however, that would connect with lots of different people too. So, you know, I'm just sort of sharing with you. It's like, but that's what I would expect when the sun and the moon are in Cancer, and Mercury was in the last degree of Cancer. It did feel very depressing for me personally. But like I said, I'm glad that Mercury's now shifted into Leo because I feel an upliftment. See, because it matters. It matters because that's the planet of communication. Whether it was going retrograde or not in a couple of weeks, you know what I mean? It matters because people could have been speaking a bit of doom and gloom, and you know. And please know, right? Cancer is a beautiful sign as well. It's just for me personally, I always feel the shadow side of it more because, like, my fourth house is in Pisces. So both these signs, Cancer and Pisces, the shadow side, it's like well, you could fall into major victim mode and being very emotional and like you know just yeah it's just it's too much water, it's a lot of feeling. So you know basically that's what I would say. I know that about myself, like when I'm falling too much into that energy, I just need to be myself. I need to be a wee hermit, or like you know spend time with family, or like you know maybe have my nieces overnight or something, and you know because it's like you could feel more emotional. So that's why I'm always aware, like in Cancer season, I tend to feel my fourth house energy more than I feel the Cancer, which is in my ninth house. But I don't know, it depends. Like I said, for me, and I'm telling you about where this is for me so that you get an interest in where it is for you, right? Because if you don't know, I can look at that in a session for you. If you've never had my psychic astrology empowerment, lots of you have had that though. But even lots of you that have had it, it's worthwhile, either getting the astrotherapy, which is my one that I can do like a quick insight into what's going on. Because basically, yeah, it all matters. Like I just know how I feel my own chart, and I'm good at looking at other people's. But yeah, basically the point of me saying that was like right now the sun is going through my 8th house, so I feel like I'm going through a bit of a, I'm just waiting for my Phoenix rising moment, which should come in about a week. But it's been a bit like feel a bit like the in the dark, so I think it's going to come into this. So, it could be me. I lost 3 of the closest people in my life going back to 2018. Well, I'm not doing that bit yet. We've not gone into the story yet, Barbie, and so you can let me know when I'm doing it. But this feels recent. Like you'll see what I mean. But I'm always open. You'll know more when I'm doing it. But given the breakthrough I've had, the fun energy tomorrow sounds appealing, but not sure if I'll be around tomorrow. Collective, and then I'll decide, please. Yeah, absolutely. Just you let me know. Because again, there is the fun energy with the Mercury and Leo. So you know what I mean. I'm feeling it there. So it's up to you. But also, even if you can't catch it live tomorrow, I could always just do it and you could watch it after. And then also remember, people in the second level of membership, if you don't want it to be in public, just say to me and I can do it in the second level of the membership. So it's just it's personally it feels more fun to do it in public, but that's what I mean. I'm the one doing it, so it's so I'm just making that clear, because if I was to receive it, I actually would prefer it to be in private. So I'm being honest. I'm Scorpio rising, do you know what I'm saying? But I'm just the people that get drawn to me actually seem to like it to be in public, and I like that because I like doing it in public, so we can all sort of get benefit from the message. But it's important for you to make your own decisions in life, basically, with tarot and oracle and everything, because this is all entertainment after all. So lots of sarcasm around here too. Honestly, I've been clawing out of a dark hole since 2018, if I'm honest. I'm just now starting to see the light versus the dark, if I'm being honest. Well, that is very honest, Barbie, and I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with you. Yes, unfortunately. I know that I can. Again, I don't like to dwell on it too much, because I'm just kind of like, I was in my dark night of soul for so long. I don't know when I went in it. I don't know when I came out of it. You know what I mean? All I know is it made me a shit hot teacher because of what I went through. So, right. So, let's get the collective going. So, let's see. I was actually drawn to these cards. So, the Divine Feminine. What did I put this? Did I? So, I don't know if we'll need it, but I always just like to put. Where's the life? Why am I not coming up as life? I know I am live because you're talking to me. Oh God, what the fuck? There's a wee hair tickling my. I've done something really weird. I think I've like logged out of this by accident, and that's maybe why I can't. What in the fuck? All right, I think this is how I find it. Thanks for your patience, guys. Except I still can't find it. Oh, the likes are going up on the videos. Not that you would know because I've hid the likes. Because I'm just seeing if it makes a difference. Because people are so fucking in their ego and like again, because that's sometimes I felt it's like, oh, people are hiding it when they're doing it to be an ego, because it's, but it's I saw from another perspective that basically I saw someone saying that basically if people can see how many likes there are on the video, like sometimes they'll scroll past because they think, oh, there's not that many likes in it. So it's actually, do you know what I mean? It's sometimes it would be that the person's in their ego by hiding the likes, and sometimes it's that others are in their ego if you scroll past because you think, oh, there's not enough likes. So I'm just saying, I'm testing out to see if it, and I think unfortunately it's fucking making sense because I'm hiding the likes, so you can't see how many likes there are, and some of them. It's not like, don't get me wrong, there's no loads, but there's like 9 on the last one. That's quite a lot for us when it's going at double figures, and you know what I'm saying? It's fucking weird, man. But right, could you just fucking let me on to? Why is it not? Can't see it. I just want to post the wee thing that I always post. It's like this. This is going to be part of it because it's starting to annoy me, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's fucking. I'm the most patient person in the. This is part of it, right? Because I am the most patient person you will ever meet. I challenge that, honestly. Like I am. Most people say that to me. Like that's why I hate the stereotypes about the signs because I'm an Aries at the highest degree as well. But I am so patient because I've got 6 retrograde. But even I have my moments too. And that's kind of where I feel. Like I feel like patience is running out. So God, if this is how we're talking now, then wait till we actually get in the Mercury retrograde Leo, because with everything that I've said. But I feel like whoever bits and bobs this are going to make sense to, because it can make sense to different people with different bits. Patience could be running out with whatever situations. Why the fuck? I might just need to give up. See, everything matters when I'm saying this. So yeah, if anybody does want the link, the booking link or that, oh, there it is. Just when I was about to give up, I've found me. Just when I was about to give up, I have found myself. Whatever that means to anyone. Just when you're about to give up, you work out how to fix something. That's the message. Right. I just need to cut some of this shit out. Right. So basically, what I'm booking is if you want something for yourself, a private message, or which is in public, private is in public, personal, not private, rather. If you want a private one, you need to book on the schedule, and that is the bottom link. So, and it's more for people on, well, it's people live, but it's people on replay to the there's the booking link, because when people are like, oh, how do I book? Well, it's there. It's always there. It's always in the description box. It's always in the comments, usually in the comments. It's always there. I will come back for another live. Did that anyway, but right. So now we can crack on with this. I'm going to put my wee charger in. I'm a little nervous. What are you a little nervous about? Right. So let's see what divine feminine energy wants to. So, like I said, just in general. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'll read the two. Better read the two I read. The two I pulled, rather. So, eat serene. So, like I said, this is important because Cancer, Cancer new moon, one of the many things that Cancer is about is also food. So, there could be things about food coming up for you. So, eat serene. Devouring a pint of chocolate fudge brownie in front of your favourite late night talk show feels great going down. Sorry, you've no idea how synchronistic this is. I'm going to confess in a minute. But not so great an hour later when it's keeping you up. That double mocha you gulp on the way to work might jolt your brain into action, but the false energy won't make your pounding heart happy. The more stressed you feel, the more seductive stimulants like caffeine, sugar, and alcohol become, and the more important it is to resist their allure. Turn to food and drink reputed to calm, not to agitate you. Estrogen rich soya products like tofu or soy milk. I've never had tofu in my life. Is it nice? It always just looks like you can make it taste nice with the surrounding stuff, but I've never tried it. I might have. Maybe I have. I bet you I have. My best pal's vegetarian. I must have had it. I must have had it. I'm talking shit. I must have had it at some point. I've not realised. But nah, see, she would always have the meat for me because other members of the family. Yeah, I don't know. Um, Grounding root vegetables like yams and carrots, satisfying carbohydrate laden pastas and grains, and B complex vitamins for sanity in capsule form. Now, the thing is, it always makes me, this always happens, right? But like, that's totally where I'm at, right? But before I get back into that mode, because put it this way, everything's about balance, right? And would I say most of this year? Not most of this year. I'd say the first couple of months of this year, I was in like major binging chocolate crisps and you name it, junk food. And then I got sick of it. And then that's when I got into my real health kick. And I've basically been, for the most part, not having sugar for like weeks on end, sometimes months on end. But every now and again, I'm just like, oh, fuck it. And like I said, usually it's if it's my time of the month or something like that. And so um yesterday I just like because I know as well like the new moon in Cancer is like I'm not a fan, like I'm just not. If you're a moon in Cancer, it's got lovely qualities when you're a natal moon in Cancer, but when the new moon is in Cancer, I'm not a fan. So I was on standby for how I'm going to be feeling, and that's why I wanted to take a bit of time off. And it's not, like I said, it's not been too bad. I'd say today has been the worst of it, but last night I was just like, I really fucking want ice cream. And I just thought it was quite hilarious because, again, I'm just going to allow myself to talk away here, and trust me, it'll have meaning for someone. Um, I had literally just said to when my friend was here recently, and she just left a few days ago, like I had said, oh, I'm not really one for ice cream. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I don't like ice cream, but I can easily go through like a whole summer and I wouldn't have had an ice cream. And I live near like a lot of ice cream shop. Usually if I have an ice cream, it's maybe like I've taken one of my nieces or that I've taken them, out or something and they're getting one and then you know what I mean? But even that I've resisted. So, but yeah, last night I got like, that fish food. I fucking ate the whole thing, guys, and I don't regret it. It was amazing. Like it's like that's what I needed to do. Like I don't regret it, but I also don't feel like doing it anytime soon. But so that's what I mean about balance. So like when that occurs and you regret it, like I didn't actually regret it at all. And that was funny because I was watching, that's talking about your favorite talk show. I was watching Love Island and I was like, yeah, this is brilliant. New moon and Cancer, hello. I'll just dig into this ice cream. And but yeah, I was laughing at myself because I was like, trust me, I've said like only a few days ago, yeah, I'm not really like a, sitting digging in ice cream person in front of a film or something. But I was last night. So that's my shadow just doing a little confession there. But yeah, okay. So the next one, like I said, I feel this card is about Mercury going into Leo. Equal airtime. While it's nice to spend time with agreeable people, they make for one-sided conversations. Challenge yourself by tuning in to a variety of perspectives. Try a radio or television show you would never normally tolerate. Again, that's fucking hilarious because I got my friend into watching Love Island, so much so that she said, I think I'm going to have to watch it when I get back. So, and again, she might watch this at some point, so that'd be quite funny. She might chip in. So say Rush Limbaugh or Oprah Winfrey. I think we'll swiftly move on. It wouldn't be the later for me. If you've opened your third eye by now, if you know, you know. Yes, that can be quite a rough awakening when you see through that one. I know it was for me, but yeah, once you see something, you won't unsee it. Anyway, it'll widen your lens and help you clarify your own point of view. But that's interesting. Although I'm going on about people in the public eye, that's the vibe of the one that I've done wait a minute, I keep saying tomorrow, Saturday. The one that I've read for the shamanic spread that I've done for Saturday was the theme is a lot of the divine masculines that are, again, this happens all the time, but there seems to be a wave of divine masculine, again, male or female, that are seeing through some type of confusion, illusion, false people. Because it was the smoky mirror, it was the owl, the snake. These are all the medicines that I work with about helping people see things they can't see. And then I shuffled the Kipper deck, and the despair guy came out. So it was adding up to quite a story. But yeah, so I just feel with that coming out there as well, I do feel there could be some kind of I don't know, dramatic reveals of being able to see through people that you couldn't see through before. Um, the real challenge is to be genuinely open to what you hear. If after an hour in their company you still don't agree with them, turn off the program or yell, "You're wrong." Try formulating an intelligent counter argument, of course. Wait a minute, full stop. And then it says, of course, you're entitled to disagree with this suggestion. Yeah, that is really powerful because that is Mercury and Leo. Like, you'll see a lot of people, whether it's on YouTube or radio or TV or on things like reality TV, like Love Island and stuff, you'll see how the energy shifts. Like, actually, even when I think about it, like on last night's Love Island, it was all very sad because so whenever I go into this, even if you're not watching live Love Island, I'll make it make sense because they're just talking through me. It'll make sense for whatever. But it is quite sad because I can see, like, even when I'm not watching it with someone, but just most of the time, which was quite nice to watch it with my friend because it's interesting to see the different things that were. I mean, we were in for the most part quite. I would say for all of it, really, most part in agreement in what we're watching, but it's kind of like I was like more just the last couple of nights and I've watched it. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like not arguing myself, but it's like it's a shame what's happened because the writing was on the wall. There's like a couple that they've been together since the start, and it's actually like the Irish girl is like she is still my favorite. Yeah, she was my favorite one in there, but and that's actually I know what they're doing. That's quite a good example of how I'm a fair person because she was my favorite. What the fuck is that beeping? Oh my god, it's the alarm because the battery's. I'm like, I thought it's from outside. Look, it's this. Oh, we can't have that. That's fucking. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is annoying. That is. Oh Jesus, sorry. I don't know if you could hear that beeping, but it was just going beep 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 beep. Fucking hell. So again, you know what that's reminding me of? I'm sorry to say, but oh god, this is. I don't know why they're giving me this extreme. I'm sure I just watched that in a film recently. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why they're coming in with this stuff, but I'm picking up on things to do with birth and death because the thing in the film I was watching, it was like somebody about to give birth. So it was like the heart monitor was going beep 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 beep, and that's what that sounded like. But I'm looking at a card with the live that I'm going to do after this, and it's very much about death. So do you know what I mean? That doesn't need to be literal, but so I think this is about beginnings and endings. But anyway, that was annoying. But yeah. So I'll just need to keep track of it. Maybe you could be low battery too, because obviously the batteries run out. So you could be low battery, self care. That's what Cancer Newman's about. Right, but what was I saying before that? Yeah, basically, it's this girl was paired up with this guy, and I just knew from the start. I mean, they're not a good fit. Like they're quite cute together, but I'm like, they're not a good fit because she doesn't really fancy him enough. Like I could just tell. But you stay neutral because it's like you're not the person, but I've got quite a good feeling for things. And my favourite guy is also Irish, and again, he's not like I was saying to my friend when I was like, look up, regardless of my age, like normally, like I could be like, yeah, you know what I mean. If I was younger, or whatever, they'd be my type and stuff. But this year, I'm like, you know what I mean. I I just and I even like with the girls too. I'm like, oh, if I was a guy, I'd fancy her kind of thing. And like again, there's some of them are alright, but yeah, the guys, I'm like, no, you know what I mean? Oh, sorry, none of them ever really float my boat. But that guy, there is something quite nice about it. Like it's his personality and he's quite interesting looking. I don't know. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, he's really hot. But it's like actually the more we watch him, like, oh, there's something nice about him. Maybe it's because they're Irish though. But anyway, but the point is you kind of know where I'm going with this, right? Is that I could tell they fancy each other, right? So she's paired with this other guy who seems a bit like he's a bit kind of not really got a lot of experience with women because he said he'd never stayed overnight with a girl. And he's not a virgin, but he was obviously a virgin to intimacy in that way because he's like, it's obviously just got on with someone and fucked off or something. I don't know. But but he'd never, until that, he'd never slept over with a girl. So but anyway, the point is it was a bit sad to see it. Like it was like I don't know if it was last night's one or the night before, but well, first of all, so I'm just going to go with this because it's going to make sense to whoever. First of all, I was sad because it's like she's gaslighting the guy. So, I'm just making it clear that it's like I do think that the ones that they've now kissed behind the guy's back, like he knows now. I'm like, I do think they're better suited and I do think they fancy each other. And it's a shame to the other guy, but it's just a fact. And I can see it's a kind of I can see how they're going to tie this in. It's like the twin flame journey. It is a shame when other people get hurt in the process, but you can't deny when people are getting gravitated towards each other. But because they were put together at the start, and then I don't know how she ended up with that other guy, but so it's like they kind of had unfinished business. But what it was what I didn't like was that girl she was obviously subconsciously like creating things, scenarios where she could be angry at the one she's not wanting to be with anymore, to sort of make it easier for herself. And I could see how she was, I mean, it wasn't again gaslighting, and this is what I mean, how gaslighting is just weaved into sort of everyday life in the telly and just in your life in general. And she might not realize it. They're all quite young. I think she's 22. She might be older, but I think she's about 22 or something like that. But yeah, I could see it. So it wasn't very nice to watch. So again, that's a bit of that is Mercury in Cancer, the shadow side. It's manipulative. You know what I mean? Like she was, but the guy saw through it because he was like, like in the one I watched, I think that was a more recent one, when she actually admits, like, yeah, well, I just kissed so and so up on the terrace. She kind of said that, like, they were having an argument or something, and it basically was so obvious. Like I can tell things like that, but I really thought it was great that the guy called her out, and he's like, I think that's bullshit. Like I think basically saying like I think he didn't say it in so many words, but he's like, I think you're making that up because you actually do want to sort of get to know him, and you're trying to make out that you're in a huff with me about something. So anyway, I'm just pointing out, if you do watch Love Island, you'll be able to get what I'm saying, or if you don't, that's quite a good example of Mercury in the last of Cancer, how it could be quite manipulative. Like she was trying to turn it on him to make herself feel better. And then you see that because you see in the aftermath, she's feeling bad because. So I'm just making this clear for people that do watch Love Island, because I know that people watch this silently that won't chip in. It's not that I think she's done, they've, again, it's all a big minefield because, like I said, I just don't know. I'm so fucking sensitive. I would never ever do something like that. I just wouldn't, right? But the rules are until they actually say they're boyfriend and girlfriend, you can do anything. And this year it's mental that, like I explained, they've got some kind of rule that they can fuck off through the other part of the flat, whatever, the villa, if as long as it's no other person. What, like, talk about fucking with people's heads. So, and anyways, there's only one person's done that, and that was right at the start. But well, two people done it like together. But yeah, anyway, I was conflicted with myself because it's like, you know, if he had done that to her, like if he had sneaked off with somebody and kissed one of the other girls behind her back, even though they're not boyfriend and girlfriend, she would have been fucking schizo. Trust me. Like she's my favourite girl in there, but she would have absolutely went schizo. There's nobody that can convince me otherwise of that. So I thought that was really unfair that she was making him, you know, it was like she was knowing she'd done wrong, but it was like she wasn't taking accountability. And it's like she was trying to go on about some stupid shit that he was in a huff. And it's like he was upset because he really likes her. And he can see that she actually likes him and she's about to fuck off with him. So it's, you can't, the guy's not wrong for that. But it was just, anyway, it was just, so again, all of this I feel just the whole point is it's about manipulation and it's sad energy. Because the other sad thing was, he was upset about her because he could see the writing was on the wall. This was before she kissed the guy. And it was so, honestly, I thought, oh my God, that's why I do love watch. It was so beautiful, right? It was like he was upset. And again, must have been, I think he might be a Cancer, actually. I wouldn't be surprised. But if he must be a water sign. He seems quite like emotional, which is not a bad thing. But I just thought it was really heartwarming that he was actually having a wee cry behind his sunglasses, and it was like, that guy I'm not a fan of. But I mean, it kind of grows on you, right? But the guy that's just thinking he's fucking amazing and like, you know, everybody seems to, you know, fancy it. Again, it's he was actually really good with him because he was like, you know, it's all right, mate, you know what I mean? And he was crying. And I can't remember what he said, but he just said something, you know, like, you know, you'll get through this and stuff. And then the other friend was like leaning on his lap, right? Talking to him, like being like, you know, you'll get through this because he'd just been dumped by the other. So basically, the point of what I'm getting at is it's actually the girls that are being so gaslighting and manipulative on it this year. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, you're actually seeing the kind of shadow side of how females can be with guys. And I think it's quite nice to see, you know what I mean? It's nice to see those wee moments that we don't often get to see in life of the guys comforting one another and it being nice for them to cry. I just thought it was a really beautiful moment. So, but it's also very Mercury and Cancer. We're probably going to see the dramatic Mercury and Leo moments coming up now. Definitely there too. So, but yeah, however that all fits in. But yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame. Like it's never nice seeing people's feelings get hurt. But ultimately, like this, she's ran off. This guy that she's ran off to kiss, like they are. You can see the chemistry, and you can see the. I can just see the sparks flying, and it's like I said, it's a shame on that guy that's crying, but they've got, you know, it doesn't look just like lust to me. It looks like as long as yeah, it looks like that's got potential to be like love and, you know, lust. And whereas it looks like she was a bit bored with the other one, you know, it was in danger of becoming a bit like a brother, I think. So and you see it every year that happens. But anyway, that's my little bit on Love Island. So which is actually currently finishing as I've just finished that wee chat. So give us a card. This will be very interesting if this card has anything to do with what I just said. But you never know. What divine feminine wants to come in? If it's Mary Magdalene, I'm going to laugh because there is a Mary Magdalene card, but or Mother Mary because that's energy I feel very strongly. But let's see, what energy have we got? I suppose the message is there. If you're going to take a risk and you're going to hurt people's feelings, you need to take accountability for it, you know, and not kind of backtrack. Because that's what I'm seeing there. That's what's not nice. If you're going to be ballsy enough to take a risk, you need to own it. And the guy is owning it. That's what I mean. That's why that guy's attractive. Like, he's like, say, you know, it's not nice to go against that guy, but I fancy her the most. And it's her that's not really owning it. But again, there's time. She looks like she's starting to feel bad. Um, Lala, or is your name Lala? That's a bit of a funny name. It's not Layla, it's Lala. It's Lalla. Lala. Lala and Shakina. Oh, there's a strong divine feminine. So let's read Lala and Shakina. I just like saying Lala. La 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 la. Right, okay. So the saint, oh my god. The saint of spoken words. There's been a lot about communication here. Every word I say becomes a prayer. Oh, that's a bit like what I say all the time. I am the author of my own story. So we're going to read that one. And I'll put these here. And we'll also read Shekinah, the presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. Interesting, because the sun rules Leo. Light. Right. La 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 la. Where are you? Oh, there's Mary Magdalene. She popped in. I am the bridge between heaven and earth, and I am fully human and fully divine. Right, where are you, Lala? La 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 la. 100. Lala embodies the potency and power of our words to create our reality. La 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 la, Lala Lal Ded, or Laleshwari, was a Kashmiri mystic and a poet who lived in the 14th century. She was married at the age of 12, but was extremely unhappy as a wife. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, God. She left her home at the age of 24 to take sannyasi renunciation. She became a Shaivite, a devotee of Shiva. Lala walked the streets naked, Christ, dancing and reciting her love poems to the divine. Wow. She wore only the markings of devotion to Shiva on her forehead. Lala is the creator of mystical form and poetry called Vox, which means speech or voice. The verses of poetry that she spoke are considered the earliest compositions in the Kashmiri language. Her words reflect the spiritual truth of non-duality that she realized as a mystic. Above temple and below idol are one. With her poetry, she found the unity in all things and the freedom that follows. I, Lala, entered through the door of the garden of my mind and saw Shiva and Shakti united into one. Oh, joy. Oh no, that wasn't in this. That was in the one I filmed before. Or was it in this? When I was doing something with my hands and I was saying about mirrors. I think it was in the other one. You'll see that on Saturday. But yeah, Shiva, Shakti, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. There I became immersed in the lake of nectar and died even while I was still alive. What can death do to me now? Oh, look, life and death. The Kashmiri language is filled with her saying. She is known as a prophetess, a saint, even an avatar. Although illiterate, she used the inherent power of her every word to transcend duality and enter a state of blissful union with the divine. Wow, that's powerful. Words have the power to shift their reality or to continue to reinforce it. Louise Hay, oh, that's my fave. Quite a lot of our faves around here. Louise Hay, founder of Hay House, turned to me during a dinner party, looked me right in the eyes, and declared, "Every word you say is an affirmation." This is perhaps one of the most crucial spiritual lessons to remember. If we're not to separate from the soul, and if the soul is not separate from the divine, then we have the power to co-create our life. Lala is the invitation, la 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 la, to pay close attention to each word we say to ourselves within, and to the words we say about ourselves to the people we love. So that's why you'll see me saying quite a lot. If I notice people doing it, it's not so much in the chat, sometimes in the chat, but it's more when I'm around people in person actually, or on the Zooms. If I notice people, well, it depends which context I'm in actually. If it's in my personal life, I can't go pointing that out at everyone, right? Because it's like there's loads of stuff I've noticed, but you can't say it because that's just annoying, if people aren't coming to you in that context, you got to know there's a time and a place. But basically, if it's more so if it's in a Zoom and I notice somebody not speaking very nicely to themselves, I will point it out because it's what, you're there to get my help. But so it's, be mindful of the way you speak to yourself in your own mind or what you say out loud to yourself as well. She's acknowledgement from the soul that our every sentence is a prayer. If we want more love, more light, more of that joy and freedom that expands our capacity to be present in the world, then Lala reminds us that we can become the author of our own reality right now. We can speak our desires into being. Lala is a reminder that we are so powerful that changing the words we use to describe ourselves can change the trajectory of our lives, and especially with that Jupiter conjunct the sun. That energy still around of you could, again, it depends, right? Because what I would say is it depends on where the Cancer is in your chart. Because like I said, I definitely noticed for me where that energy was actually, like I said, expanding a bit of pain for me. So that's just where it is in my chart. So if it's in different parts of your chart where it might be, just look out, it might be expanding opportunities that are good things, but I more felt the things that weren't so good. We can choose to focus our attention on each I am statement we say, and we can infuse our lives with the nectar that comes when we act on the truth that we are not separate from the divine. And actually, we've been talking about this for a while, so it might take me a while to get into the flow of it. But what I feel I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be doing wee quick shorts on the membership to do with affirmations, or just it might just be quick messages at some point. But yeah, so that's what's going to be in the membership. So just from the first level onwards, you'll be able to get that. I've not started it yet though, so if the people in the membership are like, "What are you talking about?" It's not there yet. But it's just that they're telling me to do stuff like that. So what are the most powerful words for me to use frequently right now? So that's something to ask yourself. And every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. So again, just be very mindful of if you're the author. Oh, look, there's one of my main guides, Joan of Arc, the Warrior of Light. What are the words that you're telling yourself? Are they helpful or are they hindering you? Are you telling yourself, I can do this, I am good enough, I'm going to go for it, or you like, it's too late, I've fucked it up, I've lost what I wanted, or you know, I've missed the opportunity to be a success, and you know what I mean. What are you saying to yourself? Um, I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. That's Joan of Arc. She just wanted to jump in there, like she's yeah. Actually, I love that Mary Magdalene and Joan of Arc because you're always my main ones. And like I said, whatever ones I connect with, you don't need to, but some of you might. 138. Oh God, are you fucking kidding me? Sorry, it's because I'm using the Divine Feminine deck as a Divine Feminine. Now Isis is jumping in. That is my other goddess Isis. I always just need to clarify that. So these are all my. All we need is Lady Portia now. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure, a prayer that brings me back to life. Oh, but there's another one about the prayer. But right, where's the actual one I'm trying to find? Shekinah. Shekinah, where are you? There. 138. Oh, and it opened up at the book. The presence of the divine feminine. At the centre of everything there is light, and I am that light. The Shekinah represents the omnipresence of the eminence of the divine feminine. The word Shekinah, and notice how itchy my nose is. So if you're new around here, whenever I itch my nose, that's the loved one in spirit coming in really close, and my nose is so itchy. The Shekinah in Hebrew means to settle, to inhabit, or to dwell. That's a word I've used quite a lot tonight. It represents an experience of the divine presence right here in the body and in the world. In Kabbalism, mystical Judaism, the Shekinah is the feminine aspect of God, and she's depicted as a piercing, radiant light. She is the experience of the presence of God within us, as the soul of God. To the Kabbalist, honouring the feminine is the utmost importance. This is why the red thread of protection is worn on the left wrist, which is the receiving feminine side of the body. In the Kabbalistic teachings, the Shekinah is represented in the tree of life as the pillar of balance. She's the force that unites the opposites. She brings to heaven and earth, and she unites the body and the soul. Because of her, there can be a direct path of communion between humanity and divinity. I've just realised the presence of the divine feminine, and I was obviously guided to these cards, which I just clicked just now, because Cancer is feminine energy. So the moon, which is also feminine energy in Cancer, is very feminine. And then being in Cancer season, with Jupiter in Cancer expanding all that, and also Mercury just left Cancer, basically, like, you know, Cancer season is about divine feminine. It is about Mother Earth. Because of her, we can experience God right here in this moment and right here in the body. In the Zohar, the main sacred text in Kabbalah, the Shekinah is described as being a world within the world, a bright radiance at the centre of everything. All life on earth, all consciousness is part of her light and therefore is sacred. The metaphysical theory of the immanence that is the divine presence is manifested in the material world. So there isn't actually any matter, whether organic or inorganic, that isn't also a part of the divine. The Shekinah is light that inhabits your body, your cells, as in the cells of all the people and objects you see around you. She's also pure experience. She is the message, the truth that there is light at the centre of everything that happens to us, both the good and the bad. And the Shekinah is the reminder that we're not just this body, or this pain we might be going through, or this confusing moment in our brief life. That's a little bit like how I was describing the energy I was channeling, you know, just myself today without cards or anything. If you think about the things I said, that's quite interesting. That's clarity for me there. We can experience the light we are, and that can be enough. That can be the miracle of the answer we actually need, not words or meaning, but simply and more profoundly pure radiant being. And that last bit feels like that is very twin flamey, because it's like what I said in one of the last lives. And again, I don't know what one, because that I was just thinking about that today. That is really a massive sign of how detached I am, that I have not watched the last 4 or 5 live streams. So I'm highly unlikely to watch them now, unless there's something that really sticks out to me when I say this. So, you know, to me, like, you know, I was watching them back before because it was interesting. Like, oh, I wonder what I said, or, you know, that might help me. And it's like, I'm so detached. I'm so like, I kind of want to say I'm so over it, but it's like, I'm not over the time. I'm just like, I don't care what I said. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to turn up, I'm going to put the message, but I don't want to go back and say I'd rather watch Love Island or something. And so I used to be able to watch this and watch Love Island, but yeah, so I'm just sort of sharing that's where I'm at too. So some of you might be feeling that too. So not words or meaning, but simply, yeah. But basically, it's. I remember saying something like, you know, that with true twin flames, I feel there may be moments that you've already had or moments coming up where actually, you know, after I'd imagined some words have been said, that it's just about being in the person's presence because, you know, that might be what you both need. That's a very Cancer sun and moon thing to say because it's about silence, you know, and it's about, well, I suppose that'd be about being in hermit with each other. So maybe some people are in that, but it could be energetic too, but however that fits. Enter the heart and repeat this mantra: I am light. See what images or words arise. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. And you may have heard me say before that actually is relevant because my name means light. It means bright light. Clear, it means clear, it means bright light, it means bright intelligence. Yes, amongst a few things. So maybe some of you that have got names that mean things like that too. Right, that's nice because I hadn't used that deck for a while. Let's just shuffle some of these. Oh, that was. Wait a minute. Yeah, we need a cap on some of this. So I'm not going to do any more for this. I'll do a wee bit more because I wanted to stop and do the other one by now. So see, that's what I mean about the sleepy energy. Give us a scripture. In peace, I will lie down and sleep. Sleep, Cancer energy. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Right, what the fuck? Dwell again. So you see, there's a lot about dwelling. Are you dwelling? We've got 4-8, so the 8th of April or the 4th of August could be significant. Call on me in the day of trouble, I will deliver you. Someone may need delivering, so you might need to book a session if you resonate. I'm just going to pull a wee Mary Magdalene and Jesus card, and oh, that card's not meant to be there. What does it say? Bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps shift you to a higher vibration and remind you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or a hike with your pet, meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. Somebody needed that wee message there. I think that was quite helpful for myself. Right, okay, so let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. John 14:27. What always sticks out about this card is a beautiful little girl. So there could be something really significant about a beautiful little girl in your life, or this could be your inner child. So you'll know what one it is, or just disregard that a bit. But you see what I mean? The how beautiful that child is really always stands out to me. It's like a child that's, well, all children are innocent basically, but it's like, yeah. Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. Mark 4:11. So 4th of November or the 11th of April could be significant there too. Right. Charlotte, have you decided whether you want your message tonight or tomorrow? I was like, Charlotte, oh, attention. And I'm being drawn to 222. It's 20. It's, oh my God, Mercury and Leo moment. My favorite card jumped out. So sorry, whatever was the thumbnail before, except I think we need to keep the other one as the thumbnail because it matches what I've wrote. But this is the card that this is why I wanted the deck, which I've now had for I don't know, 2 years or something. Desert Rose, true love cannot hide. So interesting that I was just talking about you may be hermiting together. So this could make sense for some people that are tomorrow, please, is a bit chaotic at this end. Okay, that was my feeling. I feel it will be more fun for people in the membership if I do your cards tomorrow. And I'm actually, for those in the membership, so for all levels, I'm actually going live. When is it? I think I'm going live tomorrow in the membership from 7 for the prayer circle. And then, yeah, I'll be live in public for 8 for the Leo one. Is that right? I've wrote it down somewhere. Yeah. So 7 for the members and then 8 o'clock here for everyone else. Um, so I think I think the plan is I'll start at 8 with your cards. Whoever's in the membership, whoever's watching this, now it's all the twos, love and balance and partnership. Um, and then I'll just do like what I've done tonight. I'll do, collective and the members ones, and then I'll do the Leo one after. So let's read this. So true love cannot hide. So what I know about this one is there's either been a moment like this already for some of you that you might resonate with, or there's a moment like this coming up. And again, divine time, past, present, future, who knows? I'm just passing on the message. But it does seem to tie in with some of the messages I would say that have been coming through. True love cannot hide. So, oh my god, that's. I really hope some of you can keep up with how my guides give a message. That's fucking nuts. I wondered all of that shit that I just channeled about Love Island. It's not. I mean, it's. We're yet to see whether that is love or not because they literally just had a cheeky wee kiss on the terrace, outside of their couples. But that is a little bit like I can see what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Because that's what I could see was happening there was I don't like seeing that other guy get hurt because he's really lovely. Like she even referred to him as being like the Villa Golden Retriever because it is. It's a bit like kicking a puppy. Do you know what I mean? Like her kissing that other guy. It's like she's like, oh, I'm going to be the bad guy now, and I think she is going to be. But like I've explained, like she did do things that I don't think were very fair there. She could have went about it in a better way, but I also saw what was going on. Those two were being pulled to each other, and you've got to be. I don't agree with it. I don't, but you've got to be able to take a risk in there if you see a connection with somebody else that's a bit stronger. And I do feel that's what they two have done. And like I said, it's more the guy that's been respectful of the other one. But that's kind of like that's the modern way of them saying that because it's like that card's all about true love cannot hide. And for me, being, okay, I'm a twin flame healer, but I'm also very good at spotting just when people are attracted to each other or in love. And that's what I could see. I'm like, they two are way better suited. Like, it just, and I keep going back to, I really don't, I think that was really nasty when they two were talking, the girls were talking at the start, when it series came on, and I just thought, is that something that like people are saying out there now in that generation? Because I'm like, that is so fucking mean. But she was like, yeah, give me a medium. What was it? A medium to average ugly boy or something. It was something like that. Don't quote me. But basically, what she was saying is she likes to go for guys that are not, she likes to. So it's like that makes, but doesn't that make sense? Like, because I would say that they two are on the one that she's now been more attracted to. They, to me, just looks wise, and people like they look like the most attractive, and it's not. It doesn't always need to go that way, but it's just in this case, I did think they were better suited. And she seems to. It's like she went for. Yeah, it's like she did go for what she said. Like they did say that, and again, that's insecurity. So they're young. It's not like everybody at that age is going to be like, oh, I need a therapist. But it's kind of like I can see it in the girls and the guys. And like I said, there's not. It's a shame because she looked like she was quite secure in herself. But after some of what I've seen, I wouldn't say that was the case. But anyway, I get what they're saying. That is what it is. It's like when you can see when two people have got chemistry like that, because I can also spot when it is just lust and people are going to regret it. Like, because there's that's also what happens. It wasn't quite the other villa thing, but it's like they call it the sleepover. And basically, for those of you who don't watch it, they sent 4 of them, ones that are in couples, or some of them that are in couples, into this other villa, and then they sent new people in to test them. And it's just like it's really scary. Like I'm saying the girls are bad, but those guys are bad too. Because it's like but this is what I see every year in Love Island, and it has. I feel I've learned quite. I feel if you're really watching, you can learn quite a lot about the male brain in particular, about when they're in the moment. It just seems like a lot of males just really don't give a shit, and they literally just do what they want to do in the moment, and then they're like, "Oh shit," afterwards. Do you know what I mean? So like, let's face it, that's going to fit for the message after this, if not what I'm doing. But and it's like you see it every, because that's the conclusion I've come to, because you see it every single year, and then but then it's also interesting when you see the genuine remorse and like, wait a minute, why, that wasn't even worth it. Like, I actually do feel like I've got feelings for them, or I feel like I'm in love. But what's interesting is, they've done it really soon in, so it's like, they're none of them are in love yet. So it was an interest. But so anyway, like I said, I'm never gonna. It's no point arguing about with anyone, but it's, and there's nobody to argue anyway, because nobody fucking talks back about this shit. It would make it more interesting if you did. But it's kind of like, yeah, I'll be excited to watch tonight's one anyway. Because put it this way, it's like they've chose their original girls after getting a wee neck on with the new ones that have now been dumped because they weren't chosen to bring in. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how on earth did they think that they were going to get away with that? Like, that other one's going to tear him a new one. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell the one that's going to fucking go to town because she's Scottish. She's like, nah, she's not having any of it. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But it was interesting because I'm like, it's just, I don't know where the fucking reasoning was going in their heads. But anyway, but like I said, it's so new into it that it's not, the deep connections haven't really been. I would say the deepest connection, and again, I'm just going into this for my Love Island fans and people, if you're keeping up, if you don't watch it, the deepest connection that I could say it's been formed is sadly the guy that I'm not, so again, he's grown on me, but the one that self-sabotaged so badly because he took a risk to go from the one that he was with, who he's now back again with, who he's not even bothered about, but to go to sneak into that room that I was talking about with this girl, Helena. And I could see they had, at first I thought, oh, that's just lusty, but I'm like, actually, no, I think they do like each other. And then, but now he's like, he's so fucked, he's so, being so fucking all over the fucking joint with her. Like, he's, oh, I've lost count of all the things he's done, but it's just, he's completely embarrassed her. And like, I mean, it was getting really embarrassing. Like, it was getting to the point where I'm like, oh, come on, please, somebody help her. Like, she needs a best pal to be like, right, come on to fuck kid. This guy's taking the absolute fucking C word out of you. So anyway, she realised that herself after the guy kissing fucking everybody but her. Um, but and then it was a bit of a shame because if it's genuine, I was like, oh, that's going to be a teaching moment for here. Like, after he'd fucked it up really quite badly, just try to, I can't even fucking remember what he done now, to be honest. What did he do? Oh, that's what he done. Shit, yeah. With the one that's like, I feel honestly, if you're, I feel this girl's a plant. I feel that Yaz girl's like an actor or something, because it's just too cringe all the shit she's doing. But anyway, she was the one that was dirty talking and talking about threesomes and all that. And it's, maybe she just wanted attention, but whatever it was, um, it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? It was just smutty, and it was like, fair enough if there's a connection, but you could tell it was just the two of them being really attention to seeking, in my opinion. But anyway, like, he really embarrassed that Helena, and then she's like, nah, it's over, right? And then it was weird, the next night he was like crying and saying, like, I do this when I really like someone, and it's basically self-sabotage. And that's what I was trying to work out, and I was like, is this some kind of plot to be like, because he's seen when other people had done that every other years, or is that genuine? And I'm more leaning towards, I think it is genuine. Like, I wonder if he's got ADHD or something, because it did look like, wow, that this guy's doing the most. Like, this is about a bit out of fucking control. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm like. I've said this happens every year when I do this. This is now the fourth year, and because I remember, I think that was 4 years ago when I got really passionate about it with that guy that was really hot. Can't remember his name now, but he was, yeah. If I was that age, he was my type. Anyway, I can't remember his name, but he had ADHD, and it came out afterwards. It was like, because I think he was just bouncing about fucking all over the place, and then he did actually like the girl. It was the same thing. It's just the same pattern. Um, but we can't always blame ADHD, because, like I said, I've noticed a pattern with just males in general on this program anyway. But it does happen out there too. But to wrap this up, please, guys. But I know that you've got a point. It is quite. I might watch this one back because it's quite funny. It's yeah, it was a bit sad to see him saying that, because that is, well, that definitely happens on the swim flame journey, but it happens in life in general. Like, he's basically claiming like I thought it was too good to be true. You know what I mean? Like we're getting on really well, I really fancy you, and so something's clicked in his brain. I need to fuck this up basically, and then he did fuck it up big time. Um, but it's like it's interesting how he seems to just be able to switch off from her, even though I do believe him that that's true, and then go and chase like just be too much about all the other ones. So it's kind of weird. But I kind of actually do hope they get that together because it's quite sad to watch. Because those two, basically, that's what I'm saying. I feel they're actually a real connection, but they're not together. Because the reason is because he was thinking about her when she wasn't there, and you can tell he's not really about the one he's claiming he's about. Like, I don't think he is. And she couldn't stop thinking about him, but she's now bringing a new guy. So that's the one that's on tonight that I'll watch after this. She's brought, and she doesn't like him. That guy was trying too hard. It was kind of cringe. Anyway, let's read this now. See how it all fits in. To keep your love a secret will be difficult. Like the rare desert rose, people will see it and sense it. Like that wee Irish couple in Love Island. They've got the hots for each other. Some will share your joy, and others will be unable to overcome their shortcomings to be happy for you. In legend, the most beautiful rose in the world lies in the desert. It is rarely seen, but it has a mesmerizing aroma that draws those who are lost in the wilderness and have given up all hope. And that's like the energy I was describing. You know what I mean? Giving up all hope. This rose is believed to be a sign from God. Oh my God, have you noticed how many? I know I talk about guys all the time. I know I talk. Well, I don't talk about guys all the time. Do fuck hell. Well, maybe guys when I'm describing the ones on Love Island. But it's unless we count talk about the divine masculine, but divine masculine isn't always a guy. But yeah, I talk about God all the time, is what I was going to say. But there is a lot of God coming through in all these cards. This rose is believed to be a sign of God, and no matter how exhausted you are, beholding the rose's incredible beauty and experiencing an intoxicating aroma will replenish your strength. You will be led out of the desert and out of danger. This is the power of love. It can inspire, restore, heal, and lift your vibration to the highest levels of existence. Mary Magdalene and Yeshua would have been absolutely illuminated in this state of love. I don't think they're reaching that state in Love Island yet, but we never know, guys. Their alliance may have caused jealousies among some other apostles, as they could not share their bliss and know how to create it for themselves. Find something, if not someone, to love and cherish. A pet, a person, a garden of exotic aromas and vibrant colours. Find paintings, music, whatever will raise your frequency to a strong place where negativity cannot dwell. But I feel with that coming out, it's about, in the funny way that they're pulling in Love Island, it's like I've said before, personally doesn't matter. Even if I had the fucking perfect body, which I don't and never did have, but I am happy with the body I've got, and I would just like to release some of it. But it's kind of like even when I did have a shit hot, but I did when I was younger, I had a shit hot body. I just didn't know at the time, and then it's gotten when you look back, and it's like I wish I loved myself a little bit harder when I was younger because I was being way too hard on myself. But anyway, moving on. But it's kind of like I would never have went on something like that. Like I said, no way. I would be just. I would put it out if I'd somehow convinced myself that I'd be okay being on that, I'd be crying fucking non-stop. Like they'd chuck me out. They'd be like, she's just always great. She's just fucking, you know what I mean? I'd fall in love instantly with the one I knew was for me, and I would just be like, no, this is not, I wouldn't go on it. I can't even hypothetically, I would never go on that. Um, but it's a game, it is a game, and you've got to go for it. And I can akin it to, oh, have I used that in the right? Well, it must be right if I said it like that. But yeah, I can akin it. I don't know if that's right. But to life, like it's like what I was saying about here. It's like it's difficult when people fall in love and you're not meant to. And like I said, like you know, where does that even come from? Why are you not meant to? Do you know what I mean? But there can be these energies around twin flames. It's like, oh, it's we're not meant to be. It's but you're only here. Oh my god, I'm not saying that. Saying again, but they're fucking saying it to me in my head. Here for a good time, not a long time. You can either fucking live it up and go around hurting folk and then regretting it later and staying in things, because you're too scared to take a risk in it, or you can actually be like those two people I've just described, and you can think, you know what? In the short term, I'm going to hurt that other person because I'm not feeling them like I feel, or I can actually, you know, hurt them, go for what I want, and actually they'll thank me later because they'll find who they're actually meant to be with. It is like the twin flame journey, and it's actually just like love in general. boom, drop the tiny mic, I'm going. But I'm coming back because we're doing the next one. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's much better to take a risk than always wonder what if. Right, okay. So I was going to try and catch up so I can watch along, only half watch the first episode. Oh my god, please do, Charlotte. Please do. I always wanted to go on Big Brother when it first. Do you know that's so funny? Because I hadn't read that bit, and that's what I was about to say. You'll have we've had this conversation before, but yeah, I did actually audition for Big Brother. But I've said before, it was only because my pal that I was with was wanting to do it, and I couldn't get through to the other side unless we both done it. So it was hilarious. But I did always secretly want it, though. You know what I mean? I did always secretly want it because it was. And my theory was I live with integrity. You know what I mean? I move with integrity in everything that I do. So I've not got anything to hide. So, and also because I'm so psychic, I thought it would have been quite interesting watching. Um, but now I'm such a hermit. There's no fucking way I'd be like, get me out of here. Do you know what I mean? I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Except I'm no a fucking celebrity. Just get me out of here. Why did I even sign up? Yes. Nah, when you said that before I've said that, I wanted to. Yeah, it doesn't sound. It doesn't sound as interesting as what they just asked us a few shitty questions and we got on the other side. You know what I mean? It's quite funny. Right. So what's some self-love energy that people need? And then we'll go on to the next one because I'm already dying to watch some violence. Now I've been talking about now I've been analysing it. Oh my God, I love you. Mary Magdalene and Jesus, who are obviously coming through strong. And God coming through strong always, but the God was mentioned a lot. And because look, I kept saying opportunity, and spoiler alert, on Saturday's one that I've already filmed, that card that mentions you've missed the moment, the opportunity's gone, right? That came up. But you'll see what I explained was I actually feel what they were saying is the opportunity hasn't passed, but if you leave it longer than it needs to be, this message keeps coming through, it's going to reach that point. And maybe because it's only Thursday now and that's Saturday's message, it could even be I'm delivering what I said there. It's not me. The card actually was spelling it out for you. That and I think it's to do with the Mercury going into retrograde. Like it's not that you're going to miss opportunity, but there's going to be more confusion piled upon even like already confusing situations. So if you're able to take a risk and be brave and be bold and sort things out now, and again, this might sound like it's about divine masculines going to divine feminine. I dare say it is for a lot of people, whether you're the feminine or you're the masculine. But I feel for some masculines too, this could be about biting the bullet and actually cutting off the karmic things you need to do. Because this comes up a lot, like whenever it's meant to. Because I just piecing together all the different synchronicities. Like, I don't know if I've already said it in this one, because I think it's going to come, well, it's definitely going to come out in the one that I'm, when I come off and come on again. But I caught Total Recall right at the bit where, like, he's in the dilemma of do I shoot my best friend or again, this is a film, but it's like, basically the best friend is like shoot her, and he's saying it about the one that's actually the real one that's kind of like the equivalent of a twin flame. And she's like, he's lying, he's manipulating you, because that is what's happening. The best friend is lying and manipulating him, and he doesn't know what's true. So I knew that they were saying to me, a lot of divine masculines, male and female, you could be in a position where it doesn't necessarily need to be your best friend, although it could be, because it can be quite specific. It could be a family member, it could be a lover. But specifically in that film, he is sleeping with the enemy. Like the wife is actually a double agent. Again, this could be very literal too. Wife, husband, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend. But it's like, the life that he's in isn't actually real. It's all a big lie. Which was also reminding me of the Truman Show, when it's that scene where, same thing, like his wife is lying to him. She's an actress, the best friends, basically everyone's lying to him. Because he's been televised like Big Brother. See the synchronicity of you saying that. But yeah, definitely that scene I always mention, like, for me personally, I have had moments like that. The scene when he is sitting with his best friend and the best friend's like, but Truman, if everyone was lying, that would mean I would be lying too. And I've definitely had experiences in my life when I've had moments like that, which remind me of that, where it's like, you're like, nah. there's no way they do this to me. There's no way they're like, and it's like, oh no, you know. So, and again, I share that because it's like, you know, whatever you go through as a feminine, mark my words, further down the line, sometimes it's not too far down the line, sometimes it could be years later, your twin flame will go through the same thing. So if you are in a position like me and you're shit, you know what I mean, it's good for you, it's good for people to be aware that if I've went through something like that, then I bet you anything, my twin flame will have already went through like that, or it's still coming. So, you know, it's not just a warning for it, it's a warning for anyone. But yeah, opportunity. Release your ties to the past. When you let go of the old, you make room for the new. Guys, what the fuck? When they're talking about birth and death, when you let go of the old, you make room for the new. Right. Well, that's kind of quite that's reassuring because that maybe means that that next card isn't literal. But we'll dive into that when we see. But yeah, like I said, I'll talk more about the that scene, but it was just strange because I found it right at that scene, and it was right when I had just been remembering a dream I had last night, which was really weird. So I'll leave you on that cliffhanger and join me basically on the next one because I'm just gonna. I don't need to peer anything. I've got my water. I'm sorted, and I don't know how long I'll be. I mean, I kind of wanted to be getting off about 11, and it's now nearly quarter to 11, so that ain't going to happen. So I'd imagine I'll be getting off about midnight, but we'll just see. I might realistically, it's going to be just before midnight or something. 11:44, maybe an hour. Maybe it'll only be an hour because I've done this. But we'll just see. But yeah, if you're joining me, then I'll see you in a minute, and well, less than a minute. But otherwise, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow if you're come along and join, or it'll be boring, but also because you'll get free cards if you come tomorrow. Right, okay, I'll just end this one here. So, like I said, you got what you got from it, and yeah, see you in a sec.